I'm like, dude, can you imagine if it was like normal or acceptable for a human being to do that? You're just like walking through downtown and you just watch somebody vomit, and then you're standing there and you're going like, dude, you gonna eat that? You know?
Well, it wasn't long before the story of John's little miracle was sweeping the nation.
Out of a Boston suburb comes what is, without a doubt, the most incredible story.
Johnny, where you going with that shotgun, Johnny?
So we're gonna give a big warm welcome to Jon Arez!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode 60 of the Views from the Jon podcast. I am Jon. You already know that probably. This guy up here in this corner is Joey Boots.
Hey.
Smoky Joe.
How's it going, everybody?
Joey Testaroni. Joey Testaroni.
Joey Turkey Leg.
You're not Italian, are you, Joe?
No.
All right. You got an Italian name. Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Giuseppe.
I was given that name by a
by a famous producer friend of ours whose
awesome
name we can't drop on the podcast because then it would reveal a little bit too much about me.
Yeah.
And there's too many psychos out there that want to murder me. I'm just kidding. Anyways, it's Thursday if you're watching this. The day it comes out, which is Thanksgiving. So Merry Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, happy gravy day.
Happy gravy day. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Thanksgiving. You know.
Merry Thanksgiving.
We say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
But then everything else is happy. It's happy birthday, happy Thanksgiving, happy 4th of July, happy go fuck yourself. You know? But, Christmas is merry. So, yeah, I don't know. Happy Easter. Or, no, it's not Easter.
No, it's definitely
It's Thanksgiving. It's happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is going to be a little bit more complicated this year than in previous years because of the C-19. Dude, check this out. The mayor of New York called upon every chief of police for every city within the state of New York, here in the United States, and he told them that he wanted them policing their own cities on Thanksgiving to make sure that no more than 4 guests or 4 people were celebrating.
How are they going to do that?
I don't know.
Are they going to go door to door?
But you see how insane that is?
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's not a joke. He really wanted every city within the state of New York policed so that, like, you know, if you're only supposed to have 4 people over and you have 6, what are they going to do? They're going to haul you off to jail or give you a ticket? It's crazy. But, yeah, he wanted the police to somehow patrol how many people each resident had over. And every single police chief across New York was like, F you, buddy.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
That ain't happening.
There's no way we can do it. You know? They're not policing how many people are at a house. Plus, who wants cops around at Thanksgiving anyways?
Yeah.
You know? They might kill somebody.
And you're talking about New York. I'm just saying.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
I don't see how they can police that. But yeah, he was dead serious. But yes, it is Thanksgiving. What is Thanksgiving? You know, because, you know, the wokeness in me, Joe, you know, says that, you know, these white Europeans, the pilgrims, they sailed here on, 3 ships? The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, right?
Yeah.
And they just happened to come ashore at Plymouth.
Yep.
On the Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where we are. And they said, hey, we're here. This is our shit, right?
Yeah.
And then they ended up bumping into some Indians that were actually native to this land. And I don't know. I think they maybe got along initially, And I think maybe they had a meal together.
They did.
And I think that first meal that they had was somehow named Thanksgiving.
Right.
Did I get that right? This is literally going by like first grade when we were taught what Thanksgiving is. Other than that, it's never been discussed. So I literally don't know what it is. I know it has to do with Indians and pilgrims in Massachusetts sharing some kind of a dinner. But yeah, man, the pilgrims didn't find America.
Right.
They stole it,
Right.
you know? And then Thanksgiving, you know, somehow came about, I believe, from the pilgrims forcing the Indians to show them how to cook, dude. You know?
Yeah, well, I think by the time they made the trip, they had no food left, so it was...
Listen. This is how I feel about it, all right? I believe this was a quote from Malcolm X. He said, Plymouth Rock... No, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Turkey Day.
What are we thankful for? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Isn't that the cliche thing, right?
Yes.
To give thanks? Is that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah. it's
What are you thankful for?
be to my family, my friends.
Your family and friends.
Yep.
That's what you're thankful
Definitely, yes.
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yes.
Family and friends?
Yep. Right now. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm always thankful for family and friends, but, you know,
Of course. Absolutely.
you know, I need to take more of my own advice because I'm always preaching to people. And I probably said it to you a billion times over the phone, you know, think about what you got, you know.
Yes.
Take a minute to sniff the trees and the, you know.
Yeah. And it's not about material things. That's
But
what I mean.
my whole point in setting this up was just that, like, I'm always looking at what I don't have, even though I'm always telling people to not do that, you know, but
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't know who ever said that money can't buy you happiness, because I'm telling you right now, because I think about this almost every night. When I sit down and take stock of my life right now, and I think about the problems that I have on the back burner, the front burner, and, you know, stuff I have to get to eventually,
Right.
every single one of those things that keep me up on night could be solved with money. Every single one of them. Every single one of my problems that I have on my plate right now could be solved if I had, I don't know,
that. I get it.
6 figures.
Yeah.
Not 7 figures. 6 figures
Yeah.
and my problems will be over.
Yeah. For a little while. And then you'll have other problems.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? Yeah, you know, troubles will always find you, you know?
It's true.
But, yeah, all of my problems right now are hinging on money. And not a lot of money, you know? I mean, like $5,000 right now would be life-changing. But if I got about $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, somewhere in there,
Yeah.
and I could just do everything I needed to, you know,
Yeah.
financially and health-wise and other things I want to do, I would be all caught up and, you know, car paid for, no debt, you know,
Yeah.
everything fixed up nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think about how many thousands of people are out there in this world that $100,000 to them going missing out of their bank account would be like us missing 5 cents.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even notice it
yeah.
because they have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? But there's people out there struggling way more than me that
Absolutely.
if there was money to go missing out of some billionaire's bank account, it ain't going to me, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just the thing. You really, the grass always seems greener. I mean, I think one thing COVID has done, especially as we get around the holidays, is it's just another reminder of how we took a lot of things in life for granted before COVID.
Yeah.
Who knew what, you know, the last day of what it would be like to actually go out and get a bite to eat,
Yeah.
sit at a bar,
To be with your friends.
to be with your friends, to
Yeah.
sit at a bar, to go over somebody's house, to go to the movies, to go out to dinner, no mask wearing. If you got to stop at a liquor store or a grocery store, you don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to worry.
Yeah, just to
all
be able to
that's-
get out of your vehicle and go.
Yeah,
into
just
the
to be
store.
able to go anywhere and do anything you want without having to worry about a mask, wear a mask, take, different precautions with
Yeah.
putting on hazmat suits or whatever you're doing to protect yourself these days. Or I don't know. Maybe you're watching this from a state where you're like, masks? What the fuck are masks?
Right.
Because there's some states where they're not wearing them
Yeah, they didn't do nothing
whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We've been wearing them since day one, so it's literally become just second nature.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So anyways, here we go. George, the killer pussy, has struck again.
Really?
If anyone's been watching this lately, George is a neighborhood cat that actually lives below me, but he's moving away. I'm not going to see my buddy anymore.
You'd be sad.
So earlier this week, Joe, I get home from running errands. I back my car into the driveway here, and George the cat is sitting in the middle of the driveway. And as I get out of my car, he was just at the tail end of puking. Okay?
I can't stand that. Man.
Yeah, neither can I. Okay, so I back the car in, get out of the car. The cat's just done yakking. I lock the car. And then as I'm standing there, I'm kind of looking up at the sky because I think there was a jet flying over or something like that. And I look back down at George, and he's now eating.
No.
He's now eating it.
No.
And I'm just like, dude, I know that shit goes on. I know it exists. We talked about it on the phone.
we
You're like,
did.
do you think my dog would like carrots or strawberries? What was it? Apples.
Apples.
And
yeah.
I'm like, dude, they eat their own vomit and, shit. I don't,
Yeah.
But, to actually see it, because I've seen dogs that'll go sniff another dog's poo.
Yeah.
And then maybe try to,
Yeah. Yeah.
do a little something. But this cat literally just finished and then just went, that looks good.
Hey, it was still warm.
And you know what my twisted mind thought? I'm like, dude, can you imagine if it was like normal or acceptable for a human being to do that? You're just like walking through downtown and you just watch somebody vomit and then you're standing there and you're going like, dude, you gonna eat that? You gonna, yeah, I'm taking it with me. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was hungry. That looked good.
Yeah, you want a doggy bag?
Can you imagine?
Oh, man.
Like, think about how flies eat. Flies have to spit up like an enzyme that makes their food dissolve into a liquid,
Yeah,
and then they
it's like an
slurp
acid.
it up.
Yeah.
So think about like if that's how humans ate. We had to like spit on our food, and then we just watch it dissolve. Then we just take a strong, Can you imagine, dude?
Oh.
It seems crazy to us, but yeah, man, I can't imagine if human beings had that. I don't know. There's probably a fetish out there.
I hope not.
I have the exact opposite.
I hope not.
I have the exact opposite. I keep forgetting what the phobia is of vomiting or seeing or hearing it, but I have that phobia.
Yeah, I don't like to throw
Like
up.
yeah.
Next subject.
Yes. Moving on. Joe, I got a question for you because I'm seriously fascinated about this, and I think a lot of other people are too.
Oh, boy.
But you can help us out. Give us an insight into what it's like to do this, okay? What is it like to be a lunch lady?
Oh, boy. A lunch lady? I was never a lunch lady.
Weren't you?
No. Never.
Didn't you work in a kitchen at a school?
No, I worked at a college.
Oh, a
and
college.
And I was a cook.
Okay. So you were a cook at a college.
Definitely
okay.
not a lunch
I
lady.
thought you were a lunch lady.
No.
Well, cooking at a college. What did you do? You were like a cook, like a line cook, prep cook, or did you do both?
Yeah, we did all that. I mean, you're talking probably 10 years ago. Yeah. Just basically cooking whatever recipe that the head cook would want us to cook. That's basically
So
my
he'd
job
come
is.
in and say, today we're having toasted cheese sandwich.
Yeah, you know how the schools do a lunch calendar. Same thing with the college.
I'm trying to think, because I went to a community college, a technical community college. So I didn't really eat lunch in the cafeteria, or the DC they call it.
Right.
I did eat at UMass's DC's several times because all my friends went there.
Yep.
But I think the quality of the food at the college level is definitely a step up from, let's say, the high school level, right? Because that's what I was thinking about, dude. Like Monday, they'd have like pizza boat with an apple slice in high school. And then like on Tuesday, they couldn't call it a grilled cheese. Everyone calls it grilled cheese. They called it a toasted cheese sandwich. But, maybe you can attest to this. Are they calling it did they call it a toasted cheese sandwich because they actually toasted the bread as opposed to grilled it?
No. We would just call it a grilled cheese sandwich.
No, but I'm saying, back in high school, because you went to school in high school.
Yeah.
Do you remember them calling?
I don't.
Yeah. Well, I do.
I don't.
I don't know if they still do, but they wouldn't call it a grilled cheese on the menu. They call it a toasted cheese sandwich. But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they called it a toasted cheese sandwich because they actually didn't grill the sandwich. They toasted it. Because you could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You could.
You could put butter on 2 pieces of bread and some cheese and put it in a toaster, couldn't you?
In a regular toaster?
Yeah, like a toaster oven.
I wouldn't put cheese. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there you go. So then you're doing a toasted cheese sandwich as opposed to a grilled cheese. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. So what was it like, man? Did you enjoy cooking,
Yeah, I
Like,
did.
what was the most complex thing you had to cook? And was everything cooked to order, or did you just cook a bunch of different smorgasbord kind of?
Yeah, it was just a bunch of different stuff. I mean, back when I was doing it, they had a sushi bar. I mean, these kids eat good. Lobster,
Sushi?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sushi?
Oh, yeah.
They actually serve, wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of high-end. Lobster?
Yeah, every once in a while they'd have lobster, ribeye steaks.
Lobster's not cheap.
It's not what you think.
Yeah, I can't imagine, because even if you go to like D'Angelo, which in Massachusetts is not huge, but there's, 20 of them. It's a sub shop.
Yeah.
And you go in there, even a 6-inch long lobster roll is like $12.
Yeah.
And this is like a fast food, sub shop.
Yeah.
So lobster, even that in fast food, is friggin' not cheap.
Right.
Joe, check this out.
What's up?
I don't know why I attract crazy ladies, or maybe it's not me that attracts them. Maybe it's just the area I live in has a lot of
It could be
Karens. Okay, but this no lie happened yesterday. Okay, I had to run to the city next to the city.
Yeah.
Okay, and as I was coming back home, I went through the car wash. And I was probably, maybe 2 feet behind the car in front of me going through the car wash. And the lady in front of me thought that was too close. So when she got out of the car wash, she pulled over to the side, got out of her car and waited for me. And she does one of these to me to like come over and like roll down my window.
Really?
So I rolled down my window. She's like, "Did you have to follow me that closely? You could have hit me in that car wash." Do you understand the level of craziness that is? This isn't a drive-through car wash, bro.
Right.
You've been through a car wash.
Absolutely.
You ride on like a conveyor belt.
Right.
The dude tells you when to pull up.
Yeah.
And I think the belts are like every 2 feet. So if they want to, so there's no way, because they tell you that to not steer or brake.
Right.
But even if you do, your car is like your wheels are locked in and you're like riding on a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
So I couldn't help how close I was to her. The guy said, "Come into the door."
Yeah.
I did.
Did you tell her that?
Yeah, I literally had to explain that. But dude, here's the thing. Probably my biggest pet peeve in life, okay, is ignorant people. okay? And when somebody gets upset at me, I tend to react by getting upset.
Yeah.
I had this problem in school. Like if a teacher thought I was talking too much or being loud and she was mean about it, like, John, shut up. I'd be like, fuck you, you know, office, you know?
Yeah.
But if she was like, hey, John, could you like simmer down? If she was like respectable about it,
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So when this lady starts coming at me, of course, if she comes at me in like a no kind of like attitude, I'm going to be like, what do you mean? No, fuck you, you know?
Right.
What do you mean no? And that's what she did.
So you felt like you were being attacked.
Of course,
Yeah.
because she's attacking me over following her too closely in a car wash, which I don't have any control over how far I'm following her. You understand that, right? That's the point.
Yeah.
But she's like trying to berate me like, no, you screwed up. What do you think you're doing? And I'm just like, what I wanted to do was like get angry, call her a cunt, and choke her out.
Yeah.
But I took a deep breath and I relaxed, and instead I killed her with comedy and kindness. I chuckled at her and I said, ma'am, we're riding on a conveyor belt. It's the guy that tells me when to go.
Right.
I said it was impossible for me to run into me. She's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, yeah, isn't that great?
Yep.
So thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. So that was the better way to handle it. And, you know, I was quite proud of myself for handling it that way. Because like I said, even if I did something wrong, if you come at me like a dickhead and you're talking down to me,
Yeah.
you're going to immediately get me on the defensive. I'm going to be like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you come at me with respect, I'm going to be respectful back. But in this case, she came at me for something really stupid, like following too closely in something I couldn't control, right? Going through a car wash.
Yeah.
How did I hit? My microphone just moved, but I didn't touch it. Neither did you. Do you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. I don't know why.
This mic literally just moved. It's not, the very bottom of it's in the shot. We're going to have to see if I can, what, do I have a ghost in here? Ghost in the shell?
Hey, you know, kind of smells like farts over here. I don't know why.
That's because simple Josh, average Josh, sits in that chair. That's his designated seat.
Hey,
So if it
Josh.
smells like butt, that's because Josh's butt has been leaking out all over that chair.
Gotcha. Hey, Josh, happy Thanksgiving, bud.
Hey, what's up, Josh? What are you doing? You're laying in the back of your pickup truck, watching Fox News? Josh, we'll see you next week, motherfucker.
Yep.
I got some bones to pick with you. I do.
Do you?
I got some bones to pick with Josh.
Oh, poor Josh.
Oh, dude, I tell you, when I get him on the podcast here, you know, on a pretty weekly basis, you know, he tends to behave himself. But I swear, the second the cameras turn off and the second the audio turns off, he turns into this whole other happy-go-lucky, just busted my balls person. And I'm just like, dude, why can't you do this on camera?
Yeah.
He's actually pretty funny. But
Yeah.
the second the cameras start, he's like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cameras turn off and they, hey, and I'm just like, where is this person when the cameras are on?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So check this out, man. I think you used to go to church as a kid,
Yep.
as did I. We used to go every Sunday. And as a kid, I hated it because all I knew it was waking up way before I wanted to wake up on a Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, because you go to school all week, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that.
And we had to wake up extra early because we also had catechism or whatever, Sunday school,
Yep.
you know, blah, blah, blah. Now, during a Catholic Mass, like a typical Catholic Mass, the priest calls upon or says, I believe it's a, well, let me ask you.
Okay, I'll try to answer.
Because you've been to church a lot, right? So you kind of know what the priest says for his normal, you know?
Honestly, they're all different.
He says something about an unconscious pilot.
Honestly, they're like all different. I don't know if you've been to multiple churches, but
You got to speak up a little bit, bro.
oh, sorry.
There you go. That's better.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's actually more where you need to be level-wise.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So here's what I'm trying to say. There's a guy in the Bible, and I'm sorry that I don't know who this guy is. I've just heard his name because it gets said every single church service.
Okay.
And it sounds like the priest says unconscious pilot or conscious pilot. Conscious pilot. So as a kid, I would hear conscious pilot. And I wanted to be a pilot, like a fighter pilot.
Yeah.
So I would think, like, why is this priest talking about a conscious or unconscious pilot? Like, what does that have to do with church? And it always stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many years ago I learned that he wasn't saying anything about a conscious or unconscious pilot. He was saying Pontius Pilot.
Yeah.
Do you know Pontius Pilot is a guy from history that's in the Bible?
Yeah.
It's a man.
Yeah.
Pontius Pilot. His name is spelled Pontius, like Pontius Pilate. So that's what the priest is saying. He's calling upon a guy's name. And I always thought he was talking about some kind of an unconscious airline pilot. And I'm just like, what does that have to do with religion?
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, what is an unconscious pilot doing with Jesus? You know, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Remember the movie Back to the Future?
Oh, yeah. Classic.
What I want to know is, why didn't George McFly question his wife as to why their kid looked exactly like the kid that introduced them in high school? Because they even named him the same thing.
Yeah. Good question.
Wouldn't that make the wife suspect, or wouldn't that make George McFly, the father, suspect that she slept with him that night at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance?
Yeah.
And that's where Marty came from? Think about it, right?
Right.
Because Marty McFly goes back into the future, introduces his parents together.
Yep.
They know what he looks like
Yep.
from seeing him all that time in school.
Right.
And they're like, oh, Marty, we're going to name our first kid Marty. And then so many years later, Marty's born. Don't they see the resemblance of the kid that introduced them named Marty in high school that they named their kid after? So if I'm George McFly and I'm looking at this kid named Marty that's now 16, and I remember the Marty that introduced me to my wife in high school, I'm like, holy shit, that's not my kid. She slept with this Marty guy back in high school.
Yep.
That's not my kid.
DNA test.
Yeah, DNA test. Have you ever thought about that?
That's crazy.
How
No.
many times you seen the movie?
A billion times.
Right. Have you
Yeah.
ever thought about that? Why
No.
at the end of the movie don't they're like, oh my God, our son looks just like the person that introduced us back in high school?
I don't know. Maybe somebody can answer that for you.
What's Friday, Joe? What's coming up this Friday?
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Shopping deals.
I've said it before on the stage. I might have even said it before in this podcast. But if we're going to go PC, and we've gone PC, why is nobody saying anything about Black Friday? Black Friday, it's racist. It's not called White Friday, is it? No. Got to call it Black Friday. Why do they call it Black Friday? Why? Because Black Friday is like all crazy and black people are all crazy. Is that why you're doing it? You know?
I don't know. I think it's the...
But I'm telling you, man, why don't we just call it what it is? Discount Shopping Day Friday.
Yeah.
Right? Let's get real basic. Look at the Washington Redskins.
Yep.
They changed their name. They're now the Washington Football Team. You can't get much more basic than that.
Yeah.
And I was like, why doesn't everyone do that? Somebody's got to be offended by Red Sox and Patriots and Bruins and Celtics, right?
Yeah.
Those are all offensive to people. So we'll just call them the Boston baseball team, the Boston football team, the Boston hockey team, and the Boston basketball team. And rather than calling it Black Friday, why don't we step up the progressiveness here and just call it Discount Shopping Day Friday? And that can be applied to more days than just Black Friday. You know, Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ash offends somebody. Maybe if you're not religious and you see a bunch of people walking around with smudges on their forehead, they're like, what is going on here? You know, it might freak people out. I don't know. You know, Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Yeah, it's offensive to people who are pessimistic. I'm telling you, dude, you know, happy birthday is offensive, especially to me, because there's just zero happinesses to my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I love it. I think you and Joe, I think you and Josh took the same podcasting class.
No.
Responses should be held short to,
No, that's me thinking like, why, I guess. And
Yeah.
and you interpreting it in another way. Sorry.
Are you happy on your birthday?
You know, I don't know. Birthdays were a big thing when my mom was around, and
Yeah, birthdays were always,
now it's
birthdays are great, dude, up until you hit 21.
yeah,
And then it's like there's nothing left to look forward to.
yeah.
And if you aren't in your 40s yet, like we are, but we're in our early 40s, like super early, maybe in late 30s if you want to, you know, round up or down. But anyways, if you're in your 20s, I'm telling you, you're going to hit 40 like that. It's gonna literally be like you went to sleep and you woke up and you're now 40.
It happens quick.
So that's what I'm saying, dude. If you're young, friggin' live it up. But you know, with some common sense.
Be responsible.
Be responsible, but live it up. You wanted to take that trip to friggin' outer Mongolia to go hike up Mount St. Joe, you know, or Blow, whatever you want to do, go do it. All right. All right, Joe, I'm sure you're going to love this next topic. There was a lady in the news about a year ago, but of course I'm not a news guy, so I didn't hear about it. And I don't know how much the national news covered it, but I came across this story, and I have to talk about it. The woman's name is Brittany Zamora. You ever heard that name?
Nope.
Okay, I think it happened about a year ago. She was a 27-year-old teacher that was teaching 6th grade somewhere in the southwest United States. Could have been Arizona, New Mexico, you know.
Somewhere
around there.
warm.
So she's 27.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of her. She's gorgeous. She's, well, you know, not a 10, but, you know, she's real good looking, okay? She was having a sexual relationship with one of her 13-year-old students.
Wow.
And they got caught.
Wow.
Not a girl, a boy. So, now, growing up for me, this was unheard of. Teachers did not hook up with their students.
Yeah,
it did not happen. Especially not, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the country, just like school shootings when we were in school. Did not happen.
Right.
Okay? This kind of stuff did not happen. And if it did, it was just a couple of cases, and it was always an adult male teacher with a female taking advantage. Okay? In this case, it was a 27-year-old female teacher, really good looking, and she was married.
Wow.
That was flirting with a 13-year-old. Now, I know 13 years old is young, okay? But let's not get it twisted, okay? Remember, this is supposed to be a comedy podcast, people, so just bear with me and understand that I'm half joking about everything I'm saying here. But, you know, where were these teachers when I was around here? Because let me tell you something.
John.
If I you know, it's just, I don't know if this is because of society and how it's trained us, but, you know, I look at this and I'm like, okay, it's tragic. Whether it's a 13-year-old woman or a 13-year-old man, it's still a kid. You shouldn't be engaging in sex at that age.
Right.
Especially if you're like a trusted authority figure, like a teacher.
Right.
It's gross.
Right.
But it's way grosser when we're talking about a young female student as opposed to a young man.
Right.
Because that young female student, I'm sure, is going to be absolutely traumatized, even if it was consensual. And it will probably screw her up in the future. But for that young man, you know, he's in his bedroom and high-fiving his friends on the phone like, dude, you got with the teacher. You know what I'm saying? You know there's no trauma there. And I'm not trying to, but I mean, you have a daughter. I know you don't have a son.
Right.
And I know, I can imagine what you would want to do to somebody that did that to your daughter. But if you had a son, I'm sure you'd be upset that a teacher would engage in that. But I don't think it would be as...
It is different.
Gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because men just, you know, so...
I don't know. We're all programmed that way to, you know,
Yeah.
take care of those issues if they...
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, at 13 years old, thinking back to when I was 13, it was, you know, at 13 years old, I was fully aware of what sex was, and I was attracted to women, and I would flirt with them, and honest to God, if there was a teacher that was teaching me in 6th or 7th grade, and I was fully aware of my body and her body and how it works, and I would flirt with her too. And if she flirted back and ended up, you know, I don't think I would stop it. What little boy could?
Right.
You know, but anyways, it's unacceptable for the teacher, whether it's male or female. But I'm just trying to say, just like you're agreeing with as a parent, that like for a male student, it's a little less crazy than if it's a female. And that's all I'm trying to point out. Joe, were you aware that there's an actual pornography awards, just like they have for like you know, Emmys for movies and Grammy Awards for movies?
No.
They literally have an award show every year. I forget what it's called, for a pornographic movie, right? And when I heard that, I was like, I thought I remembered something like that, but I was just like, no way. Like, that's...
Like the like TV award, like they all get together and hand out trophies. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's like the Emmys or Grammys that we would watch on TV, where they give out Best Actress or Actor for the movies, but instead it's for pornographic movies, right? So in the Emmy for the biggest boobs in a boob shot goes to Jenny Jumpers or whatever. You know, they all have those fake names like, you know, Baby Ruth or, you know, Randy Rain, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dusty Double D's.
Yeah,
or
their screen names, yeah.
Yeah, whatever their stripper name is or their like pornography name is, like, you know, Misty Mountains, you know, it's a, you know, I mean, but I'm trying to think like what the categories are, you know, like the hairiest balls in a teabag scene, like, you know what I'm saying? Like excellence in editing, like what kind of editing is there in a porn? Like, you know, the best music award,
Yeah, the best soundtrack.
Yeah, and this year's movie of the year is Johnny's Jism Jam 19, and here he is, everybody, Johnny Junkrod. Hey, you know, it's just like,
Oh man.
Joe, why do they call it a bathroom? Because it has a bath in it?
That's where you go.
No. Okay, that's where you go. What?
To the bathroom.
Yeah. So they call it a bathroom because that's where you go, to the bathroom.
Well, there's a bath in it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So they call it a bathroom because there's a bath in it.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't have a bathroom. There is no bath in my bathroom. So what am I supposed to call it? Seriously. There, you know, I don't
call it whatever you want.
I don't have a bathroom because I don't have a bath, okay? And we're trying to be, you know, to the point.
What do you call it?
I don't know.
the shitter?
Should I call it the shower room? I've never heard somebody call it that, but I don't have a bathroom. If it's acceptable to call a room that you're going to bathe in a bathroom,
But
I don't have a bathroom, so
But you
I
have
call
a
it
shower.
the shower room. I don't know. I've also heard it called the restroom, but nobody's resting in a restroom. You know what I'm saying?
oh man,
You don't rest in a restroom, but you might take a bath in a bathroom. Now, you wouldn't want to take a bath in a Walmart bathroom, per se.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
no, I don't even go in those.
Yeah. They call it a bathroom, but there's no bath in those bathrooms. But even if they did have a bath, what I'm saying, you wouldn't want to take a bath in a Walmart bathroom. Now, we can't call them ladies' or men's rooms anymore either, right? Because that's too exclusive.
Really?
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, if a PC social justice warrior, were to walk up to a door and one says ladies and one says men, they're going to be like, their friggin' head's going to explode, Because there's supposed to be a safe bathroom for the people who are a different gender other than a man or a woman, right? That's why you see all the different, So you can't call it a ladies' room, women's room, men's room, little boys' room. You can't call it any of those stuff anymore.
Interesting.
So, why don't we just cut to the chase? I
Okay.
think the proper name to call it, because it doesn't matter if it's a bathroom, it's a restroom, we're not doing all those things in those rooms. But we know one thing for sure that's in all of those rooms is a toilet, right?
Yeah,
You've heard it called the toilet, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, because no matter where you are, there's a toilet inside the toilet, right?
Yeah,
So
I've heard it called a John too.
that's right.
I mean,
That's why this is called the Views from the John, because my name is John, and a lot of my views are like straight out of the toilet. They suck
I think
and
you
they
should
stink.
call it the John. There you go.
But that's offensive to people called John. I've said it before, man. I mean, a lot of people used to name their kids after the cities in which they were conceived in.
Yeah.
So let's say you and your wife were in Cleveland, and you and your wife had Whoopi, and you conceived on that night, and you had a boy. You might have named him Cleveland, okay?
Possibly.
Now, my parents took it a step further. They didn't just name me where they did it. They got real specific. They went right to the room they did it in. The John. And that's where I got my name. My mom and dad did it in the
No
toilet,
way.
and I was called the John.
No way.
Good thing they didn't do it in an outhouse, or else they would have called me outhouse. Well, Joe,
That's
you made me feel right at home here on episode 60.
thanks, man.
You made me feel like I had Josh here, except,
Thanks.
you're about 4 feet
Shorter.
shorter and 300 pounds lighter. Oh, Josh, we miss you and love you.
Dude.
So anyways, Joe, thanks for coming on the
Yeah,
show.
thanks.
Unless you have anything else you want to bring up.
No,
No,
not off. No.
Jesus
Not really.
Christ, man.
I'm sorry.
Cat's got your tongue.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I'm
That's
not.
offensive
I'm
to
not
cats.
used to all this.
You're not used to all what?
Being on your show and
Big production, right?
big production. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't notice it, but if I were to take the camera that's on me or you and point it around the room, there's a lot of stuff set up
Yeah.
to make this shit show happen. So anyways, I hope you guys have had a good time listening to me talk and Joe grunt on episode 60. Be back next week with Simple Josh. What did I call him that he got upset at and then he called himself it last week? Big Messy, Big Sloppy.
Big slop.
Big Sloppy. Next week we'll be back with Big Sloppy.
Yep.
And like I said, I got some bones to pick with Big Sloppy
Can't wait to see it.
because he really digs into me, dude, off this podcast.
Oh yeah.
And I tend to really beat around the bush. I think you watched last week's episode because you were preparing to come back on this show.
Right.
And, you saw after we talked about sex, Josh, let's talk about
I did notice he was kind of.
and,
sad.
I was giving him hell about, his newfound, how he's been using his newfound success on this podcast to, to go out living it up you know, like he's friggin' George Clooney or something, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyways, like I said, on the phone, when
Only you can make a tall man blush.
only I can make a tall man blush. Yeah, I think I wish your name was Red, because then I could say, Red,
You can call me whatever you want.
Red, you're turning red, Red. Just like in Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
There's that broad named Violet.
Yeah, she eats the...
And the father's like, Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. It's like, Red, you're turning red, Red. Anyways, I hope you guys have had a fun time listening to this horse shit. I hope you guys have a merry and happy Thanksgiving. Tune in next week when Big Messy will be back, and we're going to get big and messy with Big Messy, because off camera, and he's been bullying me about some
messy.
Yeah.
Messy guy.
And he's been bullying me, dude. Like, he knows my weaknesses. Like, he knows that, like, I don't want to get COVID.
Yeah.
So he's, like, always telling me that, like, he has it just after he leaves my house, just to fire me up. And I'm like, dude, quit fucking with me for a second. Do you feel sick? Because I need to go test it. Go get tested. What do you mean you gotta go get tested? I said, dude, when you come down with C19, they're going to assign a caseworker to you or something, and then they ask you everyone you've had contact with, and then they got to go get tested and all that kind of stuff. That's at the protocol.
Yep.
So finally he admits, like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't feel sick. I'm like, dude, why do you fucking do that to me? You're like, you know?
He loves you.
Yeah. So, you know, he knows my weaknesses. He knows to get under my skin. And he does it off the show with perfection, but he doesn't do it on the show. But then when I do it to him on the show, he gets all sad and upset. Aww, somebody can't take a joke. Anyways, I've tried to sign off about 5 times now.
Yeah.
I'm going to sign off now. Everybody, I love you. If you could, please hit the like button on this video on YouTube. If you could please hit the subscribe button, that's awesome too. And if you could share this video with somebody that might like to watch a couple of Generation X guys shooting this shit, then go ahead and send it to them. Do me a favor, would you? It's the holiday giving right time.
Yeah.
So give me something, would you? Give me. All right, I've been John, he's been Joe, and we be out. Peace, everybody, and Merry Thanksgiving.
Merry Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
The fact that you have to say they're not that bad means that they are that bad. Do you ever hear a Boston girl have an orgasm? Oh yeah! Had it! Oh God, that was so good! Now I'm gonna stuff my drunken face with Pepperidge Farm.